Well, there's probably some people out there that watched my last vlog on soils and said, how is this guy talking about soils without talking about soil carbon? Well, you're right. I think soil carbon is probably the best indicator of soil fertility. That's what I look first on a soil sample. What's the carbon content of the soil? And another name for soil carbon is organic matter. And typically soils are, or mineral soils are between 2 and 5% organic matter. Not a lot, but it's an important part. It's what feeds the biology. It's what bonds the minerals to keep them in the soil. So how do we preserve soil carbon and build it up in our soil so we have fertile soils? Well, believe it or not, when you till a soil, a lot of that carbon oxidizes and you lose it into the atmosphere. Now, you might ask, people have been tilling fields for thousands of years. What's the big deal? Well, it's only in the last 100 years or so with the invention of the diesel engine where we've been able to till our fields aggressively. And through that, over time, we've lost a lot of the fertility in our fields in this country, but in other places too in the world, through aggressive tillage. And farmers have realized that and have come around to reduce tillage or no-till agriculture. And it's actually quite widespread in this country now. Probably 90% of the corn and soy in this country is done with reduced or no-till methods. Now, we're also doing that here. We're doing something a little different though. We're doing it organically. A lot of the no-till crops in farming use herbicides to kill the weeds or the growth before crop. Here what we're doing is we've grown a crop of rye. That's that grass there. And we're taking a roller crimper and we're rolling it and crimping it down, and it's lying flat. And we're planting right into that mat of rye. And that, obviously, you're not tilling. The rye acts as a weed barrier for the germination of weeds. So it's a win-win situation. In this particular field, we're going to be planting squash and pumpkins, but we're also doing some no-till beans, and we're doing no-till corn. Of course, for potatoes and other things that we're growing, we're obviously tilling carrots. So it's limited to a certain set of crops, but still, any reduced tillage you can do, you're going to improve or at least maintain your soil fertility. So you can see this is crimped rye about a week ago. It's starting to die already. And so you can see we've got our no-till squash planted directly into this crimped rye. You're not going to get a lot of weeds. You can see it's a good mat of rye. These are going to shade out any weeds from germinating. And plant will vine out over it and should be good.
I'm dying to know it all, to know